Hi everyone, it's Fahim from OurFutureTV, and today we're going to be interviewing Basil Al-Khabass. Now Basil Al-Khabass is taking part in the Dawn Till Dusk challenge. What that is he's walking all the way from Newcastle to London while fasting during Ramadan. We're also going to be talking with Keith from the Bradford Metropolitan Food Bank, who's going to be telling us a little bit about what the food bank does and how to get involved.
Hi everyone, my name is Basil. A lot of my friends call me Baz. I'm in Bradford today because I'm doing something called the Dawn Till Dusk challenge. What it is I'm fasting from dawn till dusk for the month of Ramadan, and I'm starting at Newcastle and walking the length of the country from Newcastle to London, and I'm going to be taking a detour via Bristol. Every day I'll be stopping at a different town or city, raising awareness for a different charity. Today I'm in Bradford and we're doing the Bradford Metropolitan Food Bank, which I'll talk about a little more in a second. I got the idea to do this challenge for two reasons. First of all, with it being the month of Ramadan, as a Muslim, for me it's really important to do as much good deeds as possible during this month. Ramadan isn't just about not eating food and not drinking. It's about doing as much charity as you can, as much worship and as much reflection as you can. The other thing was, a few years ago, I found out about a Bosnian man who obviously lives in Bosnia, which is near Croatia, Yugoslavia in Europe. And he'd always wanted to do pilgrimage to go to Mecca in Saudi Arabia, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. But he couldn't afford to pay for the plane ticket. So what he decided to do, he only had 20 euros on him, that's all he had. He decided to walk from Bosnia to Mecca in Saudi Arabia, and it took him 8.5 months. 8.5 months, and he walked through Syria as well, where the civil war was going on. But he met so many lovely people along the way. He crossed through Serbia, which used to be at war with Bosnia, but the Serbs treated him really nicely. They offered him places to stay at their own homes. They gave him food and drink. When he crossed into Turkey, somebody offered to pay for his plane ticket, but he said, I've already set my intentions to do this, so I want to carry on with it. And when he crossed Syria, both sides of the civil war made a ceasefire in certain areas for him to cross through safely. And he met so many people along the way, which inspired him to do even more good. And it showed the humanity that still exists in the world. So that's where I got the idea from. There's over 20 charities that I'm doing. A lot of the charities are based in the UK. For example, the Alzheimer's Society, for example, Diabetes UK, National Deaf Children's Society. A few of these charities that I'm supporting will be helping people abroad as well. When it comes to charities, it's not just raising money and funds that's important. What's also important is raising awareness. For example, the other day I was supporting Macmillan Cancer Support, who provide support for patients and families of people suffering with cancer. The reason it's important to raise awareness is, for example, breast cancer and testicular cancer are common, and yet men and women who think they might be suffering from these conditions are too embarrassed to talk about it to their families, too embarrassed to go see the GP about it. So by letting them know what services are available and what number they can call for free, they can contact Macmillan Cancer Support, get some confidential advice from specialists, and in that way they can get help. But unless people know what help is available and how to get hold of that help, they're going to miss out. So it's important to raise awareness. Keith before, and we've helped out with the Bradford Metropolitan Food Bank, and they do a lot of good work. But Keith, tell us a little bit more about the Bradford Metropolitan Food Bank, how it was started off and what kind of work that they do.
Right, it began 2004 with a Sikh, Lashman Singh. He started it. He used to run the curry project in Bradford. He got a number of us together and we started to collect food for people who had a roof over their head. They weren't homeless, they weren't rough sleepers, but they, for whatever reason, they hadn't got money to buy food. And when we started, we were doing about a bag of food a day, 300 bags a year, 2004, 2005. By 2011, we were doing 3,000 bags a year. And by 2013 it went up to 7,000 bags a year, and last year, 2014, we set a record of providing 10,000 food bags. Now they're quite big, these food bags. They're worth about £15 each. So that's the equivalent of £150,000, all donated by people in Bradford. 80% of it comes in the form of baked beans, rice pudding, packets of cereals, long life milk, and all the other things we want. And the other 20% is money that people give us. Occasionally we get a grant, but it's not often enough. People don't like giving us a grant because all we've got is a shopping list. We're all volunteers, no one is paid anything, so we just buy food with the money. And they would rather we bought computers and training, and we're not going to do that. You can't eat a computer. So about 20% of the food we buy, just to make sure we've got milk and we've got sugar and things in every bag. And this year we're already over 1,000 bags a month. So the end of the year we're going to beat that 10,000 from last year. It'll be about 12,000, and this is disgraceful. It really is. The number of people who are having their benefits sanctioned, people who are on 0-hour contracts, people who are being evicted from their houses, people who are having to pay inflated rents and all sorts of things mean that people are struggling.
So just to give an idea, because you know when we think of hunger and children not having food to eat and all that kind of stuff, we usually think of places abroad. We don't really normally think of in the UK. So just give us an idea about what kind of thing many families here in Bradford, our neighbours, right, on the edge of our doorstep, are going through in terms of finding difficulties in eating, finding difficulties in, you know, supporting their own kids and families, and how many people have been using food banks across the UK.
Well, the numbers are very high. I mean, we're an independent local food bank. We're not part of the Trussell Trust system. We're just Bradford local people, and we work differently. We don't see the people who eat the food. We see the social workers, the housing officers, the mental health teams from the hospitals who look after people who are suffering. So they come to us and we say, right, what do you need? And they say 3 food bags, please. We say, right, 3? What do you need 3 for? And then they say to us, right, there's mum and dad and 2 children. Their benefits have been stopped for whatever reason. And quite often the reasons don't stack up, and they won't be getting anything for the next fortnight. Now 3 bags under those circumstances certainly will help them. It won't see them all the way through, but we will give that worker 3 bags, and that worker will then go to those people and give them the food.
Follow my journey. You can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/Dawn Till Dusk Challenge. Every day we'll be raising awareness for a different charity on Facebook, and by liking the page, inviting your friends and sharing the posts, you'll be helping to spread the word and raise awareness. There'll be links on the Facebook page on how you can donate. You can also follow me on Twitter at Basil Al-Khabass, BASILALKHABASS.